Okay, Christina here to listen to some music. And today's music selection is the 5th installment of my listening of The Dark Side of the Moon, the full album, one track at a time. So this is Money by Pink Floyd. This has been a great little experiment. Again, this is track number 5, so this is the 5th video. And so far so good. I have not been disappointed, to say the least. And gosh, we've done all sorts of things. We've been speaking and breathing and running and watching the time and having things fly over our head, and then we actually fly up into the sky ourselves. And so what do we have in store for us next? Well, that's what I'm here to find out. I definitely admit that I'm very excited to do so. And we're all ready to go. I've got my Pink Floyd shirt on. Again, thanks Celeste for this shirt. And gosh, I don't know. This has just been such a great journey, and thank you to everybody coming along with me on it. Don't forget to do all the things, like and subscribe. You can find me on Patreon, support the channel on Ko-fi as well, make direct requests. You can become a channel member and support this little adventure here. And again, what are we doing? I am a professional classically trained musician, vocalist, instrumentalist, professor, and composer. So we talk about as much as we can about the music and how much we love it or don't love it. You never know. We all learn a little something and have a good time. So let's not delay any longer. Let's listen. Okay. I'm going to back it up just a little bit into The Great Gig in the Sky, and we're going to hear that little segue, that little transition into this track, which is Money. I do think I know what this song is. This is like one song for sure that I've heard before from this album, but I don't know it very well. I just know Cash Register. So let's just dive in. It's going to be great. Okay. All right, very cool so far. Very different from the whole rest of the album so far. And for some reason, that's catching me off guard because there just seems to be that level of coherence. I don't know. I guess it's time for something new. So this definitely makes sense. All right. It's starting to make sense. It's really lining up to be the perfect mixed tape. You know what I mean? Got to get the songs in just the right order. Can't have too many of the same. Got to kind of go back and forth between all the different aesthetics of the different songs, slow and then fast. And, so this is a faster one. The previous one was definitely a slower one. So yeah, excellent album planning here, which is the reason why we're doing all of this, is to get the full album experience. Pretty straightforward. Money. Hear the cash register. I was right. So yeah, I've heard this song. I've never stopped to actually listen to it on headphones or whatever. I maybe have heard it in movies or in passing on the radio, but this is my first time to actually just really listen up close and really think about what it means beyond just the surface. I'm guessing greed. I don't know. We'll find out though. But there's a really cool vibe here so far. So let's just keep going. Let's see where this takes us.
Get back. I'm alright, Jack. Keep your hands off of my stack. Money, it's a hit. Don't get me that too good bullshit. I'm in the high fidelity first class traveling section. I think I need a lift jet.
Whoa, okay, well, we're into a new part there. Okay, wow, excellent saxophone solo. So some of you know that my history with Pink Floyd before the channel was one album, Momentary Lapse of Reason. And for those of you that know that album, you probably are going to guess what I'm about to bring up with the saxophone, right? Right? Yeah, you guys know. You know. There's some really gorgeous saxophone solo moments in Momentary Lapse of Reason. It speaks through the whole album, and it's just so profound, and I'm hearing that here. I already know this language. It's in a different song, but I know what the saxophone is saying, and it's really cool. Okay. Some of the obvious again. The song itself is very obvious. The cash register sounds and the coin sounds and all of that stuff. And the fact that it becomes the beat, that is so cool. I mean, you hear the drum behind it too, but even that is sort of muted compared to the weight and the value of the money. You know, that's pretty cool. I also felt like it's a harsher song, and I know we had some harsh tones also coming from Time, but in this... Or was it On the Run? Oh, crap. Now I'm forgetting. Oh, see, this is why. Okay. Ugh. This is why I'm doing this in close succession here. So, like one day or so in between each track. And I try to go back and listen to them, but it still takes time to let everything soak in. And I'm actually starting to kind of have it get all mushy in my head now. But I think that is sort of what the first experience with this album needs to be. It's all kind of mushy and just sort of slidey, and there's no definitive markers between some of the songs. Some yes, but others no. And so this is just a great ride. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is it's a harsh track. This song is harsh. You know, I couldn't help but think like it would taste like what a coin would taste like. You know, metallic and bitter. Okay, we headed into this new section. What the heck's going on? I don't know. Well, let's find out. We're just going to keep going. Well, no. I'll back this one up just a little bit. Got to hear that little transition. That was really neat. Okay, what's up? What are we doing? So I think we're headed back into the return of some opening material, I think. Could be wrong, though. Could be totally wrong. Woo, okay, that was a great guitar solo, just wailing away. Ooh, anybody else notice that little moment before that, though? Where everything was really brief and separated, like it was coming in the headphones anyway, like from this side and then this side and this side. And no one would actually play like a whole melody. It was all cut off, all very brief. Nothing ever satisfying, really. Ooh, so is this like how you could have all the money in the world, but you still might not be happy? Like it might not actually satisfy you? It just seemed really shallow. Okay, you know what? We're going to check some lyrics before we go any further. I know we're about to finish the song, but I just got to check just quickly. All right, money, get away, get a good job with more pay, and you're okay. Money, it's a gas. Grab the cash. New car, caviar, 4-star daydream. I think I'll buy me a football team. Nice. I'm all right, Jack. Keep your hands off my stack. Saxophone solo, guitar solo. I love it when the lyrics list like the different instrumental parts. That's fun. Money, it's a crime. Away, away, away. Woo, 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 ooh. No, 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 ba, ba, ba. Okay. There's some spoken words there again. I love it. Again, I love it in this album where they keep interjecting the spoken words. That geezer was cruising for a bruising. Okay, I don't know. All right. Well, we just got a little bit left. Okay, I don't want it to end. It's too much fun. Okay, we just came back into the recap, the recapitulation, the beginning of the song. Okay, here we go.
Money, it's a crime. Share it fairly, but don't take a slice of my pie. Money, so they say, is the root of all evil today. But if you ask for a rise, it's no surprise that they're giving none away.
I was in the right. Yes, absolutely right. I certainly was in the right. I don't know, I was really drunk at the time.
You just told me it was coming into number 2. He was asking why it wasn't coming up on further 11. So after yelling and screaming and telling him why it wasn't coming up on further 11, came to a heavy blow which started to matter out. You just told me.
Okay, that was really fun. And I think now this is the segue into the next song. So yeah, and I know a lot of you are like, or at least some of you are like, you can't listen to this album because it's all connected. I know, I totally get it. I am trying to use recordings that don't just stop at the, I kind of learned that early on in this process. So I can really go back and hear those transitions. And just trust me that I go back and listen to all of everything that I've been listening to so far. I listen to it again. I'll listen to the individual track, the one I just heard, and I'll go back and listen to all of it and make sure that I get those transitions in there, that it's a part of my experience in listening to this album. But I really am enjoying this where I get to soak each track in just a little bit more than just one straight through. Because I would listen to it one straight through, but then I would go back and just do this. And that first straight through would sometimes almost get lost. I like to do this. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, thank you for all of you who are a little uncomfortable with that and you're still staying patient with me. And for the rest of you, here we go. I love the vibe of this track. It's bluesy. It's rough around the edges. It tastes like a coin. It's metallic. Not like sparkly metallic, but like bitter. It's so transformative as far as what anyone could think about greed and how you could translate that into music. And some of you know that I love that. I love the translation of an experience or a flavor, an ideology into music. I love it. And this is definitely that. So, having heard this song in passing in the past, I didn't give it a second look. I didn't realize exactly how deep it needs to be. I could sort of tell they're saying the word money and they kind of sounded angry. And so, yeah, I kind of get that, but it never really connected. And of course, because I didn't hear what came before it, and then eventually I'm going to hear what comes after it, it didn't make any sense. And without that context, it just didn't mean as much. I don't know. I also just didn't allow myself like that saxophone solo that reminds me so much of my dear love that I have for a momentary lapse of reason. That makes me want to just go directly to this track all on its own. And then the guitar solo, there were two at least, but the second one was awesome, by the way. The first one was quieter. The second one was definitely more outspoken, more passionate. But then I heard this little exchange at the end where the vocals and the guitar were call and answer. They were imitating one another, and I love that. And this is almost like The Great Gig in the Sky, where the soloist, Claire Torrey, I know her name now. We are so fortunate that her talent exists in this world. The way she sang, I'm not going to get into it. You go watch the Great Gig in the Sky reaction, but I have to just reflect a little bit right now because it's coming up. She used her voice as an instrument. I also really love that. And so that's what was happening here. I was waiting for it. And we got it right there at the end. Maybe we can just go back right now and hear that just a little bit.
I don't know, I was really drunk at the time. You just told me it was like coming into number 2. It was actually why I was on fade 11. After I yelled and screamed and told him why it wasn't coming on fade 11.
I love it. Okay, and so then what was written on the lyrics makes more sense. The woo, woo, woo. Okay, I got it. That's great. All right, the vibe. So again, the totally weird vibe at the beginning, right? What are you supposed to expect from cash register noises? All right. But that uncomfortable feeling is what sets you up for the experience of the song. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. It's supposed to feel cold, taste bitter. They nailed that for sure. But then there's this bluesy riff in the bass. That's it. Okay. What a great blues riff. And in the time signature of 7. So probably 7/4. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But it does still make you feel uncomfortable. Like you're trying to make sense of where the beat is with our cash register percussion section, and you can't quite figure it out. And then the actual riff comes in and it still throws you off. And then the way the vocals are worked in with that, it still just never really settles. You feel kind of uncomfortable, unsteady, shallow the whole time. You want to be able to settle in, even in some of the solos, but even they have a certain level of angst in them. So let's hear how that cash register percussion goes into that riff. Let's see how we can almost grab that comfortable feeling. It's slow and laid back. there's a guitar with it too. Listen to all of those different little doo-doo and then doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, all these little sounds. And there's actually another guitar playing almost along with the bass line, just like 2 or 3 of the notes through the whole line. And I think that's what that middle section was that was so awkward. Let's see if we can find that. I was like, what is going on? Keyboard, guitar. You wanted to keep going. Now we're back. Okay, the fall into our greed. Right. Oh, there's so many layers to this. Like literally the layers of music and then the layers behind, the metaphorical layers behind the meaning of it. So great. Let's hear a little bit of that saxophone solo, shall we? I think we shall. And it's kind of playing with some of the other little brief instruments too. It almost doesn't sound real. Yeah, so great. But it doesn't sound real almost. I know it's real, but the reverb that's on it, and is the reverb on all of the instruments? I'm trying to remember. But it makes it sound fake. It makes it sound like it's digital, but I know it's not. And this is back in 73. I don't think this is a digital recording. But it sounds fake. I think it's just another layer to add to the meaning behind money, money can't buy happiness. It just goes on, all the layers. It's a giant onion. Okay, where was the amazing guitar solo coming up here a little bit later? Let's see if we can find it. Bass line underneath it. Oh, it's so great. And then that final descension down. What are we descending down into, right? Oh, the greed of man. This is so great. Yeah, that guitar solo is awesome. But did you hear the bass line underneath it? That was really cool too. So bluesy, like I said, just over and over again. Yeah, that little blues, that chromatic line in the bass. It's a really good, solid foundation to hold up all of that discomfort. That's what we need for this song. Fantastic. Okay, that was track 5 from The Dark Side of the Moon, Money. Loved it. How can I not? Never realized there were so many layers to this onion, but there really are. And now again, I'm seeing it in context. I see where it came from. So the question is, where are we going next? Where is it going to? I don't know. And so far, this is the only song on the album that I really recognize. I might recognize little bits of, oh, that instrument here, that voice there, but nothing is really familiar as much as this one was. But still, I've never heard it like this before. Not even close. My whole world has changed. My view has changed. I didn't really like this song before. I was just like, okay, money, cash register, you know, okay. I didn't appreciate it. Now I do. And that's the point here, I think. So this makes me very happy. I guess I should be honest in saying when I was realizing that this was the money song, like with the cash register, that's the best way I can, that's how it lived in my brain for, you know, my whole life. So I almost wasn't looking forward to it because I was kind of, you know, familiar with it, but not really. But at the same time, since I didn't connect with it, I was a little, And this, I guess, sort of talks to my experience that I have here on the channel where I kind of shy away from some music that I've heard in passing and don't really get to connect with. But isn't that kind of, are we all sort of guilty of that sometimes? And I come from the classical world of music for the most part. And so I think there are a lot of people out there that sort of feel that about classical music, that you have to really listen closely to really get to know it. But all I can say is that there are so many layers to classical music that once you peel away some of them, you feel about that music just like we're feeling about this music. But sometimes the pieces are really a lot longer, like, you know, a 45-minute long symphony. But you know what? That's about the length of this whole album here. So, you know, is it really that different? In the end, we're all human making music, so maybe not. Well, I'm definitely learning that more and more. I hope all of you are learning that with me. Go ahead and leave in the comments your thought on this song. Is it your favorite on the album? Will it be my favorite on the album? I don't know. I would never have thought that it would, but now, I don't know, The Great Gig is pretty good. Some of these others are pretty good. And what's to come? I don't know. It's too early. Too early to say favorites. No, I'm not going to do that. But I definitely like this one. I definitely do. Whereas before I kind of did not. Didn't give it a fair chance. So it's time. All right. Thanks again for coming with me on this journey. It's been excellent so far. I love it. I can't wait for more. So hang in there with me. And as always, just remember that you don't have to be perfect. Just be okay. And let's keep listening.